Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Right, in today's video we are going to be working on the Subaru once again. Today we're going to be changing out the gear oil on my rear differential. Now there's a couple reasons on why I specifically want to do this to my car, but the main one is one of the drain bolts has a magnet in it. And the purpose of that magnet is to trap all of the little metal shavings that are going on in your gearbox, so that every time that you do a gear oil change, you can just take the plug out, wipe off the metal shavings, and then put it right back in there. I would say it works like a filter. But yeah, the main reason why I want to do the gear oil change is because of that little plug. Now, for all of you guys that don't know, I have a 2004 Subaru WRX STI. I am currently repainting it, but because it's too cold outside, I am not able to move forward with that. So we're using all of our extra free time to just do maintenance work on my car. I basically just want to have this car up to date with all of the maintenance that it needs to get done to it. The car again has around 120,000 miles, so I'm pretty sure a lot of maintenance got skipped on this car from what I've been looking at it and working on it. Not only that, if I do the gear oil change, I'm gonna be able to look at the drain plug with the magnet in it, and I'm gonna give myself an idea of when was the last time this got done to the car based on how much metal shavings are stuck to the magnet. But on Subarus, you have two differentials. You have the front and the rear. Today we are only going to be focusing on the rear, and it is going to be located under your car in between your two wheels, and it's gonna be that gearbox right there. I just want to give you guys a quick walkthrough of what we're gonna be doing in today's video. As you guys can see, we have two plugs. We have the drain plug right there, and then we also have our fill plug right here. The fill plug does have a sensor, so we gotta make sure that we remove that first. After we remove this sensor, we can go ahead and remove the fill plug. After we remove the fill plug, we can go ahead and remove the drain plug. After we let all of the gear oil drain, we are then gonna put the drain plug back in there. We are then gonna fill the gearbox back with oil, and then we're gonna go ahead and just put our fill plug back in there, put our sensor back, and we're done. But that is easier said than done. You are gonna need some special tools in order for you to get this done. Now, not only are these tools gonna help you get the job done, but they are also gonna make it quicker and easier for you as well. Now, to remove the fill plug, we are going to need a 30mm deep socket. Now, to remove the drain plug, you are going to need either a 1/2-inch breaker bar or a 1/2-inch ratchet. I'm just going to use the breaker bar to break the drain plug loose, and then I'm going to finish removing it with my 1/2-inch ratchet. You are going to need a drain pan to catch all of your old fluid. I bought this at Advanced Auto Parts for around $3 or $5. But this is what I'm going to use to catch all of my gear oil. Now, the job does get a little messy, so I like to keep a bag of these Shop Original multi-purpose Scott towels. I really like these towels. I've been using them for over a year now, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep using them. In case you guys were wondering what kind of gloves I use, these are the gloves. They are pretty good. They're puncture and tear resistant. Not only that, on the side it tells you all the things it's good for. My personal favorite is oil resistant, and I'm also able to use it on my touchscreen. Now, this is something that you don't really need. It's just a magnetic bowl, you could call it, and all I'm gonna use it for is to hold my fill and drain plug so that I don't lose them. I just like to keep this around whenever I work on cars. I just keep my bolts there and it keeps them in place. Shout out to Conchi for showing me this. Now, because the fill plug is located in such a complicated area, you do need a special pump in order to get the fluid back in the gearbox. We're not able to just pour our gear oil on there like how you would with an oil change, so we do need a special pump in order to get this into the gearbox, and that is what I have right here. So in order for us to put the gear oil back in the gearbox, you are gonna need a special transfer pump. I don't know which one I'm gonna use just yet. About both of these are Harbor Freight, so this is gonna go on the cap, and then you can just go ahead and pump it up and down. We're gonna try using this one first, but if that one doesn't work, we're gonna have to switch to this right here. This is a Pittsburgh multi-use transfer pump. All it does is it transfers the fluid from here over here by you pumping this up and down. It has really long transfer tubes. I think I'm gonna cut it to my preference, but yeah, I ended up getting both. I figured I was gonna use either one of them in the long run. Not only that, I didn't want to have to buy one and then need the other one, so they weren't that expensive, so I just ended up getting both. Now, last but not least, we have the gear oil itself. Now, the gear oil that I ended up getting for my car is the 300 LS Mutual gear oil. It is 100% synthetic, and the viscosity that I am going to be using for my car is 75W90. From the year 2004 to 2006, the STIs came out with a mechanical limited slip differential, and because of that, my car requires the LS version of the Gear 300. I have a bottle here of the regular Gear 300. As you guys can see, we have the limited slip over here and then just the regular Gear 300. Again, since my car has a limited slip on the rear, we are using the Gear 300 LS. If not, we would have been using the regular Gear 300. This is what we're gonna be running on the transmission and front differential, but that's gonna be for a different video. But the main reason why I decided to go with mutual gear oil is because it says that it has excellent stability at high temperatures, and honestly I plan on tracking my car, so knowing that I'm gonna have this on my car, it's just gonna make my conscience feel a little better knowing that we can actually push the car to the limit. You don't really need this tool, but it is really convenient to have around the shop. All that this tool does is it makes sure that everything is tightened down to spec, and this is what we're going to be using to torque down our fill and drain plug. I am going to have all of these stuff linked down below for you guys. This is what's best fit for my budget, so yeah, these are the tools that we're going to be using in today's video. But now that I showed you guys all of the tools that we're going to use, let's go ahead and start draining some gear oil. First thing we're gonna do is remove the sensor. As you guys can see, it has a clip right here. All we're gonna do is push it in and pull like so. Now we can go ahead and get our 30mm deep socket and remove the fill plug. I am gonna use my breaker bar to break it loose, and then I'm gonna finish removing it like I said with the ratchet. The reason why you need the 30mm deep socket and not the regular socket kind is because of the sensor. Now this sensor is really long, so if you use a regular socket, it's going to be too short and it's going to hit. So you do need a deep 30mm. If you get the short one, it might not fit. Another thing, you want to make sure that you remove the fill plug first, because if you drain this and you're not able to fill it back up, you're basically screwed. So you want to make sure you remove the fill plug first. After you remove the fill plug, you can remove the drain plug, and that is what we're gonna take off right now. Same thing, I'm just gonna use my breaker bar to break it loose, and then I'm removing it with my ratchet. As soon as we remove the drain plug, all of the gear oil is gonna come out, so make sure you have your drain pan nearby you. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a quick look at the drain plug while we let this drain. Honestly, it's not that bad, so I'm pretty sure that this got done not that long ago. The oil is still pretty clear as well, but so yeah, this little magnet is just picking up little metal shavings, so we don't have a lot, which is a good thing. So let's go ahead and finish this off. All right, right now I have the car on jack stand, so we're not gonna be able to get all of the fluid out, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the car right back down, and we're gonna give it a few minutes for it to fully drain. All I'm gonna do is put the drain plug on there so that none of the gear oil gets all over my jack. So I'm just gonna use the drain plug really quick to make sure that none of that comes out. Now that we let all of the gear oil drain, we can go ahead and put our plug back. Now you want to make sure that you torque both of these plugs to 36.2 foot-pounds, but that's just gonna help prevent this from getting loose. Now that we got the drain plug all torqued down to spec, we can go ahead and fill the gear bags back up with oil. I'm gonna go ahead and start filling it up using this pump. If this pump doesn't do the job, I'm just gonna switch over to the other one. All we're gonna do is remove the cap, and then we can insert this on there. We're gonna tighten it. And now all I'm gonna do is start pumping it, but you want to make sure that you do this in a level surface. The fill line is gonna be that fill plug right there, so the fill plug is also the fill line. So once it starts pouring out, that's when you know you gotta stop. All I'm gonna do is just pump it up and down till we see it pour out. Alright, so because the pump is so short, I wasn't able to reach all of the fluid at the bottom of this container. It's only long enough to suck up half of the gear oil. So I'm gonna switch over to this one right here. I went ahead and cut the hoses a little short just because they were too long. But I'm gonna use this now to finish filling up my gearbox with oil. Alright, so we have some gear oil draining now, so we're gonna go ahead and just put the fill plug back in there. Just gonna go ahead and give it a quick wipe down. Now we can put our fill plug back in there. I'm just gonna tighten it by hand, and then I'm gonna finish doing it with my torque wrench. But it's the same as the drain plug. All you gotta do is torque it down to 36.2 foot-pounds, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our sensor back in there, and we should be all done. All right, now the only thing that's left is our sensor. And just like that, we are all done. Just like that, we are gonna be done with today's video. I would highly recommend that you guys got one of those transfer pumps. Because of the long hoses that it comes with, you are able to get every single thing that's in the bottle. So I would recommend that you guys get that over the lid pump. The first pump that we were using, it didn't do a good job just because it was too short, so it didn't reach all the way to the bottom. But with that being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys find the video useful in any way, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.